All right, let's go. All right, guys, so we're going to get this thing started. Welcome to the call, 9 o'clock. And, really quick, I'm excited. I'm very excited. If you guys scroll through the pages, you can see that other people are excited about what we have going on. Really quick, what I really encourage you to do before we get this thing started, I encourage you, whoever invited you onto this call, I want you to thank them. Okay, I want you to get back with the person who invited you on this call and thank them because they like you. They care about you. They respect you. They think that this is something that could ultimately positively affect your life or something that you could be really good at. So thank your friend because they think very, very highly of you. Secondly, I encourage you to go out there and keep an open mind because a closed mind is literally the most expensive thing that you can own in the entire world. I think that your mind, it works a lot like a parachute in terms of the fact that it works better when it's open than when it's closed. If you were to jump out of a plane tonight with a closed parachute, what's going to happen? You're going to hit the ground. So if you want to survive jumping out of a plane, you're going to need an open parachute. If you want to survive in this economy, you're going to need an open mind. So keep an open mind over the next 20 minutes as myself and fellow co-founder, Mr. Christian Jewkes, give you guys some perspective on what it is that we're working on. And last thing I want to say is really just I respect you guys for spending your time here with us tonight. Time is the most valuable thing that we have in the entire world. You can't make any more. You can't get any back. And we're not going to waste any of your time tonight. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Just so you guys can get to know who I am, my name is Jamie Chirio, like the cereal. I'm 23 years old, and I have been an entrepreneur for the last 5 years coming up in February. And I can tell you, it has absolutely changed my entire life. It's changed my entire life. Before this journey, I was 18 years old. I was going to school full-time at Michigan State University for business, for marketing and advertising, not necessarily because it's what I wanted to do, but really because I didn't know what else to do. I think that business can sometimes become the new undecided. And if you have no clue what you want to do with your life, go to school for business. And that was me. And I was also working part-time at a fast food restaurant called Taco Bell. And the one thing I learned from working at Taco Bell was that I never wanted to work there again. And I knew I wanted something different. And I was blessed to meet this guy named Luke Hessler. Some of you guys know him, some of you guys don't. But when I met Luke, I was 18 and he was 19. And I walked into a dorm room. And here was this kid standing on a table telling me how we're going to make $1 million and how we're going to change the world. And my first reaction was, this kid's crazy. Someone get him off the table. My next reaction was, this kid's excited. He's passionate. Two things that I wasn't. I wasn't excited about waking up at 8 a.m. for class. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to that. And I wasn't passionate about my current job, which to be honest was, basically making tacos for drunk people. So I was willing to listen. I was willing to do something different. And Luke completely blew my mind. I didn't know that it was possible at a young age to go out and create a 6 or a 7-figure income in a matter of a couple of years with no college degree. I thought that was absolute BS because my parents, they always taught me, you got to be smart to make money. Therefore, go to school and get good grades and get a good job and go work 40 years of your life, 40 hours a week to retire on 40% of your income. And that's what I thought I had to do. So I went to school. I got really good grades. I played 3 sports. I got into Michigan State University, the university of my dreams. And when I got there, I decided to major in drinking and partying and minor in business. And I went on academic probation my first semester, and I had to figure it out. And that's when I met Luke. And Luke really saw more in me than I saw in myself. And we decided to take the ball and run with this whole game they call entrepreneurship and being your own boss. And from two kids sitting in a dorm room, we built our first organization to over 28,000 young people across 30 different countries. So the past is in the past. That is a past organization. What you guys are hearing about today is something brand new. But what it does is it proves something. It proves that what it is that we're doing is real. It proves that what it is that we're doing, it works. It's not a matter of if this works. It's more of, is this going to be the right fit for you? And if you guys get off this call in the next 15 or so minutes and this turns out to not be the right fit for you, no hard feelings whatsoever. Seriously. I truly hope you do figure out what is the right fit for you, because for me, I personally wasn't happy. I don't believe you should spend a single day on this earth being unhappy. And if you want something different, sometimes you have to do something different. And if you want the things in your life to change, sometimes you have to change a few things in your life. I made a simple change to this business and this movement, and it changed literally everything. It changed everything. When I was 18 years old, I was $34,000 in student loan debt. I was terrified of public speaking, terrified. Like getting on a call like this, I would have been peeing my pants. And I never left Michigan in my entire life. Seriously, I never left Michigan. Fast forward through this type of business, by the time that I was 20 years old with no college degree, I was earning $100,000 a year. I was traveling all over the world. I went to Europe 5 times in 3 years. I went to 15 different countries. I went to 35 states. I went from being terrified of public speaking to it became my favorite thing in the world to do. And I was blessed to speak on stage in front of 10,000 people at the Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas. That's where they do American Idol. It was crazy. I spoke in front of 5,000 people in Vienna, Austria. Everyone had to wear like the crazy headsets, and it was translating, into like German, French, Spanish, and Italian, like right there on the spot as I spoke. It was the craziest thing that ever happened to me. 2014, I traveled all over the world, sharing my story and, promoting what we were doing, and it changed my entire life. 2014 was the greatest year of my life up to that point. And then I got humbled. I got humbled by the big guy upstairs, and I went from being the guy on top of the mountain to the guy right back on the bottom of the mountain. I watched my first business completely crumble overnight. I went from being the guy who was making 10 to 15 grand a month to the guy who was making $0 a month overnight. And I had to figure it out. And it was a crazy roller coaster, but I wouldn't trade a single second of it, for anything on this journey. So, really, I spent about a year after that, working my way back up to the top, and spent about a year doing something I wasn't passionate about. If you guys know anything about passion, when you lose your passion, it sucks. Seriously, it sucks when you lose your passion. It seeps into all other areas of your life. It seeps into your goals. It seeps into your relationships. It seeps into your productivity. I started having issues with my family. My girlfriend broke up with me. I was waking up late. I wasn't being the best version of myself. And one day I just woke up and I decided I needed to sacrifice my pride. I needed to do something different. And I got on a call with, a guy you're about to hear from, Mr. Christian Jewkes, as well as my, best friend, Mr. Luke Hessler. And we're all like, I'm not happy. I was like, I'm not happy either. Well, we're going to have to sacrifice our pride. We're going to have to do something different. And we thought, okay, well, maybe we can find just another company that we can partner up with. Because that's what we did in the past. That's how we made income, is we would find great companies with great products and services. We would partner up with them. We would promote their products and services. We would build teams of people promoting their products and services. And the bigger we built our teams, the bigger we built our income. And all that really mattered was us finding a product or a service we could believe in, something we could get passionate about. So we got on a plane and we went out to Salt Lake City, Utah, where there's 280 of, they're called direct sales companies, 280 of them in one city. And we went door to door. We started looking for a new home. We started looking for something we could get passionate about. And after about 2 weeks of searching, we came up empty-handed. We couldn't find anything that we could really fall in love with. And I remember, sitting out there and, sitting with Christian and sitting with Luke and coming to the conclusion that if what we were looking for didn't exist, that meant we had to create it ourselves. Okay, I'll say that again. If what we were looking for didn't exist, that meant that we needed to create it ourselves. And that's when the idea of WoTaBu was born. That's when the dream was born. That's when we decided to go out and create our own company. And this movement was started. That's why there's 104 people on this call at 9 o'clock on a weeknight. That's phenomenal. They used to say that you couldn't be in 2 places at once. I'm in 104 places at once right now. Technology is wild. Okay, it's crazy how an idea like this can spread. And just to give you guys some perspective, okay, into where this really came from and how this started, and where did the motivation and the inspiration come to start something like this? And some of you guys are probably wondering still, like, what is this? We're going to get into it. Okay, but where did this come from? WoTaBu, it's a crazy name. It all started when we were reading this book called Purple Cow. Okay, Purple Cow is by a guy named Seth Godin. Some of you guys may or may not have heard of Purple Cow ice cream. It's all over the shelves. And this guy writes this book, and he talks about how right now everybody in the world, they're all selling the same thing. They're all selling vanilla ice cream. Okay, and he said that right now in the world, when you go out trying to buy something, it's like trying to choose between 10 different brands of vanilla. Imagine how hard that would be to choose between 10 different brands of vanilla. They're all selling the same thing. So if you want to do something different, if you don't want to copycat, if you want to disrupt the marketplace, you got to stop selling vanilla. You got to start selling something like, bacon chocolate jalapeno. something that's so wild and crazy and outside of the box that people are willing to try it. And he uses this word in the book. He says, if your idea is not WoTaBu, don't even try it. If your idea is not WoTaBu. Now, WoTaBu, guys, it stands for worth talking about. So if your idea is not worth talking about, don't even try it. And we fell in love with that concept. We fell in love with that word, and we decided to build a company and a movement around it. And it created our mission statement, which is to inspire people all around the world to live a life worth talking about. Okay, to inspire people all around the world to live a life worth talking about. And the question I want to ask you guys is, what does living a life worth talking about mean to you? Okay, what does living a life worth talking about mean to you? Because for every single person on this call, for the 105 now people on this call, living a life worth talking about, it means something different to every single one of you. To, the single mom with 4 kids, it's all about quality time. To the young female who wants to go out there and travel to every single country on the planet. To the young male who he's an adrenaline junkie and he's got to go jump out of a plane to live a life worth talking about. Living a life worth talking about means something different to everybody else in their own eyes. And we've created this community where you can explore that, where you can figure out what that means to you. So what we've been able to create, it's pretty epic. Okay, we've created something really out of necessity. Okay, we needed to create something that we could get passionate about. And out of necessity, we created this. We created our dream. What we were able to do is we were able to partner up with an existing company to create what we have here today. Now, a couple people, they see, a 22, a 23, and a 24-year-old kid, they start their own company. What do they automatically assume? They assume it's 3 kids with a laptop and a crappy college apartment. That's not what we did. What we did is we found a 10-year-old company, a company called Live Elite International. And that company was doing about $1 million a month out in Salt Lake City, Utah. And they became our parent company. So just like Facebook owns Instagram, Live Elite is our parent company. They handle the entire corporate side of what we're doing. They approached us and they asked us if we would like to build a brand new spin-off company underneath their umbrella, something by young people for young people. And it was one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that we couldn't turn down, to create something that we could get passionate about. Really, when I first started in this industry of an entrepreneur, why did I start? I started because I wanted to create time and financial freedom so that I could travel the world. Time and financial freedom so I could travel the world, meet new people, network, grow my influence. And through that whole idea, we realized that what we wanted to focus on travel. We wanted to focus on adventure. And what we've created here for the world is the first ever, travel and adventure club, WoTaBu, or worth talking about. And what you guys are hearing about today, it's something that's so amazing. It's something we spent a lot of time on. We launched it on August 27th of 2016. And we've done some pretty phenomenal things since then. So just to give you guys some perspective on what it is that we really do, the simplest way that I can put this is that we simply help young people travel for less. Okay, we help young people travel for less. And we've created 2 things. Number 1 being our travel club, and number 2 being our adventure club. I'll break both these things down and I'll throw it off to our co-founder, Mr. Christian Jewkes. But number 1, with our travel club, what we've been able to do is we've been able to create a travel product. Okay, now this product, it's like Expedia mixed with Netflix. Okay, it's like Expedia mixed with Netflix, where we're able to give you access to our website, where we get some of the coolest deals and discounts on all things travel related. So flights, hotels, resorts, condos, cruises, vacation homes, golf, skiing, adventures, excursions, all things travel related. We really kind of have our hands in the whole mix. Okay, so we're able to give you pretty amazing discounts and deals. So it's like Expedia mixed with Netflix, or another analogy is like the Costco or the Sam's Club of travel. Okay, so we're able to give you access to that website where we give you wholesale pricing on all things travel related. That's number 1. A quick success story. I mentioned this on every single call. The beautiful Miss Caitlin Court. Okay, she was able to go out to Paris, France, and she saved over $1,000 on a flight. Here's the craziest part about this. She booked that flight 5 days before she left. If you guys know anything about international travel, you do not book a flight 5 days before you leave. It's going to skyrocket the price. So on Expedia, that price was $1,700. And through WoTaBu, she got it for $680. Crazy. Crazy. And I could give you guys countless success stories of people staying in resorts in Barcelona, Spain for $50 a night that are 5-star resorts. I'll tell you guys about our trip to Mexico we just went on, where the cheapest room at this hotel is $1,000 a night, and we stayed there for $700 for the whole week. Okay, so we've got some amazing success stories through what it is that we're doing. So number one, in our travel club, we give people access to our discounts and deals through our amazing travel portal, our WoTaBu back office, our WoTaBu membership. It's phenomenal. The second thing that we do is we create these quarterly experiences. We create these quarterly adventures, these trips that people come on for a discounted price. But when you get there, you're staying in the most epic resort you've ever been in your entire life. And we're creating an experience that you'll never forget. So about 2 weeks ago, we just got back from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We took about 65 people with us. We stayed at one of the nicest resorts on the entire planet. Like I said, minimum room, $1,000 for a night. Crazy. We gave it to our people for $700 for a week, and for our top performers, it was free. And when we went there, we didn't just go out there and drink margaritas on the beach. Instead, we decided to do something that was worth talking about. We actually competed in our first ever WoTaBu adventure race. This was crazy. Imagine 12 teams of 4. The red team, the blue team, the green team, the purple team. Okay, all these different teams, and we started out on the resort. The resort was over 900 acres. It's crazy, okay? And we had to race through the jungle. We had to climb waterfalls. We had to dive into pools. We had to solve puzzles and find clues and, unscramble things and, find different locations, run a mile down the beach to find a flag. The craziest scavenger hunt adventure race you could possibly imagine. We went from 12 teams down to 2 teams, okay? My team was actually one of the teams in the finals, as well as Mr. Daniel Schuler, Peter Unger, and Corey Reese, who are right now the world champions of WoTaBu. So congrats to those guys. But we ended up in the finals. 2 teams. We took a bus an hour into Mexico. We took a boat 30 minutes off the coast to an island where each team started at the beach, ran a mile down the beach, up a mountain, 3 different mental challenges, dove through an ice-cold waterfall to receive a flag, to make our way back down the beach and through the finish line where, Daniel, Corey, and Peter, they made it to the finish line first. And what did they find? A buried treasure chest, okay? And inside that buried treasure chest, what did they have? $5,000, 4 GoPros, and 4 hammocks. Unbelievable. It was worth talking about. So what we do is we create these quarterly adventure trips. They're a lot of fun. You guys are going to be able to see our Mexico recap video here in like the next 24 to 48 hours. It's going to be posted publicly on social media. It'll blow your mind. Some people were on a call last night with over 200 people. They got to see the sneak peek for the first time, and it was worth talking about. So those trips are phenomenal. We have them quarterly. Our next one is in June. We will be in Cancun. We'll be in Cancun, Mexico at the Vedanta Resort, the exact same resort that we stayed at before, but just this time we're going to be on the Gulf of Mexico side instead of the California side. So number one, guys, with our travel club, we give you access to our discounts and deals, our travel portal. Number 2, we give you access to these quarterly trips that we give you at an epic discount, and we give you an epic experience. That's the travel club. That's number 1. Now, the second part of what we do, this is what I get really, really excited about, is our adventure club. The Adventure Club is a chance for you to, number 1, be a part of our community, but number 2, earn free travel. One of my best friends, Mr. Kyle Wolfgang, he has a saying, if it's free, it's for me. Okay? We're going to show you a way you can go out there and earn free travel through these epic experiences we'll talk about. So number 1, we've got this thing called the WoTaBu Challenge. Okay, the WoTaBu Challenge. This is really cool. I'm going to show you guys a 90-second video here in a second that'll blow your mind. The WoTaBu Challenge, what we do is we say, get together with your friends, grab a camera, and film yourself doing things that are worth talking about. Every single month, we have a different theme of the month. Whatever theme of the month that may be, you post it on your social media, you get the most views, shares, likes, and comments. That winning team will win a 7-day trip for them and 8 of their friends. 8 of their friends. We run this contest every single month. Back in October, our theme was the best outdoor adventure. Back in September, we did trick shots. Okay, people throwing basketballs off the wall and into the hoop, ping pong balls, the craziest bounces into a cup. If you guys go on my YouTube channel, you can see me, grab a piece of toast and I threw it across the kitchen and it landed in the toaster. If you don't believe me, look it up. It was the craziest thing I've ever done. It took me a whole loaf of bread, but I made it happen. So check that out. Trick shots, that was a great one. We did the mannequin challenge. we did this month was giving back, humanitarian. This month in January, new year, new me. Next month is summer versus winter. Who's got the best adventures? So every month we run a different contest and we give away an epic trip. So just to give you guys some perspective, I'm going to share my screen really quick so you guys can see kind of what that's all about. So check this out.
Have you ever gotten excited about the idea of taking a dream vacation with all of your best friends just to be let down by the outrageous prices it costs to book your trip? Trust me, you aren't alone. What's crazy is that according to the Huffington Post, 72% of millennials are choosing to spend more money on experiences than material items. With this in mind, we at WoTaBu ask ourselves, how can we help millennials make their travel dreams a reality without breaking the bank? And thus, the WoTaBu Challenge was born. The WoTaBu Challenge is your chance to earn a 6-day, 5-night vacation of a lifetime with your best friends simply by playing a brand new social media game called WoTaBu. How does it work? Simple. Everyone gets into teams of 4 to 8 people, and each month WoTaBu comes out with a new theme of the month. It is your team's job to create a video that is 60 seconds or less around the theme of the month. Once your video is completed, a team member will log into their back office and upload the video to the challenge section of our website by the last day of the month. After you've uploaded your video, your team can get busy promoting it on social media. There will be people all over the world that will be voting on which video they think is the most WoTaBu or worth talking about. The team with the most votes wins prizes, merch, and of course, epic trips. If you want more information, our detailed rules and regulations guide is online. So grab a camera, grab some friends, make a video, upload it, and share it with the world. Let's have some fun.
So that's the first part of what we do in terms of our adventure club. The second part of what we do with our adventure club is we create these monthly experiences depending on what area that you're in. We have them in certain spots around the country, big spots for them: Michigan, Oregon, Arizona, California, most of our main markets. If you're not one of our main markets, become one of our main markets. We'll show you how, but we host these things called WoTaBu weekends, where once a month we'll get together with everybody in our area and we will physically come into each other's proximity and do something worth talking about. Okay, and we'll run pretty fun events. So back in September here in Michigan, we did a 32-team dodgeball tournament where everybody dressed up in crazy costumes, and the winning team, they won a 7-day trip. I know out in Oregon, you guys just saw it. They did air mattress races down a natural water slide with flip cup at the bottom, okay, which was crazy. Okay, so you can see some pretty cool events. In October for us, we did Zorb Soccer. If you guys have ever seen Zorb Soccer, it's when you get inside those big inflatable bubbles and you just knock each other down, and everybody forgets there's a soccer ball. But the team that scores the most goals, they win. And the winning team, they won a 7-day trip. And we had 250 people in Michigan in these bubbles. We played 75 games. It was wild. In one day, it was worth talking about. With our WoTaBu weekends, we create these experiences where we ask people the question, when was the last time you did something for the first time? Okay, when was the last time that you did something for the first time? When someone asked me that question, I was mind blown. I'm like, I don't know when the last time I did something for the first time was. And that's when I really opened my mind and, I saw what was possible with what we could create. So in summation, before I pass this off to Mr. Christian Jewkes, guys, we talked about 4 different things within the Travel and the Adventure Club. We talked about number 1, our website, where we give you access to deals and discounts, wholesale travel, flights, hotels, resorts, condos, cruises, vacation homes, etc. All things travel. We help people travel for less. That's number 1. Number 2, we've created these quarterly trips, which you guys will see our epic Mexico trip here in a day or two on social media, where we create, number 1, a discounted trip and an unbelievable experience. We do something worth talking about. Within our adventure club, we've got our WoTaBu challenge where we run this every single month. You film yourself doing things that are worth talking about. The video with the most views and likes and shares wins a trip for them and 8 friends. We've got our WoTaBu weekends where we come together in our popular areas and we do something worth talking about. You can meet people and be a part of the community. So everything I just talked about, plus access to this online community, which is pretty awesome, having 100 people on a call on a weeknight at 9 o'clock. That's amazing. Access to our Facebook page, all of these different entrepreneurs, explorers, artists, adventurers, whatever you can think of, people who are passionate. You get access to this community for $29 a month. Okay, $29 a month. Nothing crazy. People our age, we spend more money on partying in a single night than it costs to be a part of WoTaBu for an entire month. Bring it back to Caitlin. She saved enough money on one flight that paid for over 2 years of membership, and it made it worth it. People our age, we spend hundreds of dollars a month on fraternities and sororities. Why? So we can be a part of something bigger than ourselves, so we can network, so we can make friends, so we can have those connections. I like to look at this like a social co-ed business and adventure fraternity, okay? A club. Our goal is to get this thing to the point where we are so cool that you're willing to pay $29 a month just to hang out with us, and everything else is an added benefit. That's our goal. So if you guys see the value in $29 a month, I guarantee you other people will see the value in $29 a month. They will. And if you see the value and other people see the value, here's where an opportunity arises. You can become what's called a brand ambassador. A brand ambassador. Somebody who actually goes out there and promotes this. When people ask me what I do, I tell them I get paid to play. I get paid to play. You can become a brand ambassador. You can share the idea of living a life worth talking about with your friends and your family. It's crazy. You can create an income. Through this type of business, I personally haven't had a real job in 5 years. 5 years. Time freedom. That's what's possible. And I want to introduce you to a guy who has also created that time and financial freedom. This is one of my best friends. Seriously, I met this guy about 3.5 years ago at an event where he was literally sitting in the back of the room, like back touching the wall. Okay. And he was introduced to this crazy concept of being an entrepreneur. And he made a decision. I remember he told me he was going to make it. I was like, all right, we'll see. He's like, you're going to come down to North Carolina and you're going to visit me and we're going to make this thing happen. I'm like, all right, we'll see. And then he went out and he made it happen. He went out and he exploded. He became a success story in our first company. And through that, I went down to North Carolina. We became unbelievable friends. We're about to become roommates here in the next couple weeks. He's moving from North Carolina up to Michigan, which is going to be so phenomenal. But this kid's story it's crazy. He was a two-sport athlete in college. He was quarterback on the football team. He was center fielder on the baseball team. If you think you're busy, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you think you're busy, you are not freaking busy. This kid was busy. And he found a way to leverage this, to fit into the cracks of his life, to create time and financial freedom. He was one of the creative geniuses behind this movement of WoTaBu. So everything you guys see, you can thank this guy for being a huge part of it. So with that, I'm going to throw it off to my man, Mr. Christian Jewkes. Did you make it on the call, man?
I did, Mr. Chirio. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, man. Take it away.
Oh, beautiful. I would pay so much more than $29 a month to hang out with you. I'm moving up to Michigan. I'm paying way more than that for rent to hang out with you. So it's working for sure. 100%. What's going on, guys? I am excited to be able to hop on here and just close this thing out. So for you guys that are on here, you got things to do. You're feeling a little antsy. You're ADHD like me. A dude has dreams. Okay, it's all good. Hang out. We're going to be here for like 5-6 minutes. I'm going to close this thing out. So like Jamie said, my name's Christian Jewkes, 22 years old. And 19 years old, I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that opened up and expanded my mind. If you were on this call right now, and you have never read this book or heard of this book, write that down right now. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, #1 business book in the entire world. Sold over 28 million copies, over 100 different languages, been on the New York Times bestseller list since the day it came out. That revolutionized my life. And whether this is the right opportunity for you, this is the right product for you, this is the right business or fit for you, that book alone, this will be worth it if you read that. But I read that book. It revolutionized everything. And 3 weeks later, I met Jamie Chirio and Luke Hessler. My life has absolutely never been the same. But with that being said, what I'm going to talk to you guys about is our brand ambassador program. And how does it exactly work and how can you become a part of it? Jamie already went over our Epic Adventure Travel Club. He went over the travel portal. He went over the quarterly trips. He went over the monthly challenges, the themes of the month, the meat of everything, the value that you guys have access to, which is unbelievable. But now if you see value in it, like he said, there comes an opportunity. And so when we decided to start this company, this movement, and this revolution, what we had to decide is how are we going to spend our quote-unquote marketing dollars, right? Most companies use traditional forms of advertising, TV ads, billboards, radio commercials, Facebook, traditional advertising. It's a very, very large industry. But before we decided to go that route, we decided to take a step back and really look at what's going on in the marketplace. Look at companies like Facebook. Look at companies like Amazon. Look at companies like Chipotle. Right? Why did you get started on Facebook? More than likely, you were like the last person on MySpace and your friend was like, I'm sending you a friend request. Like, you need to get this Facebook thing. You were going to be a total weirdo. You're going to be the only kid in the entire school with a MySpace in like middle school. I'm telling you, you need a Facebook, right? You don't want to be the weirdo. So you're like, okay, I'll try this Facebook thing. I don't even know what Facebook means, but I'll put my profile in the picture and we'll see what happens. And now we know Mark Zuckerberg's a multi-billionaire and everyone in the world has Facebook. Amazon, same exact concept, right? They use word of mouth advertising. Chipotle, same thing. $8 for a burrito, organic, chicken and steak. Come on, 100%. Extra vinaigrette, you're going to do it every single time. Word of mouth, people start talking about it. So what we decided to do is we wanted to use the idea of building with millennials mostly and younger people. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Vine, WoTaBu, Skype. We are the most socially connected generation ever. Absolutely ever. And we can spread concepts and ideas that we're passionate about faster throughout the world in our friend group than any generation previously. You have access to information that literally kings and queens didn't have access to from the touch of your fingers. So it is insane right now with what technology. So what we wanted to do is simply this. We created a brand ambassador program. And what happens is as a brand ambassador of WoTaBu, you get your own personal replicated website. It's your first and your last name .wotabu.com. And you're opening up your own online franchise. Think of McDonald's, right? For $1.2 million, you get authorized rights to basically sell McDonald's food, which is pretty garbage to say the least. You get a building, right? And you might get a coworker or two. That's what you get for $1.2 million. Here at WoTaBu, by putting a literally deposit down on your first open trip, which when you see our Mexico video, boom, you're going to want to go. It's sick. All right. Getting a 7-day free voucher, you can start your own business in America with unlimited earning potential and basically get 2 trips already coming up in your 2017 year for less than $500, which is ridiculous. The average business in America costs over $78,000. So how it works, pretty simple. Our brand ambassador program isn't just who you tell and who you refer. Whether they're customers or ambassadors, you would refer them personally to your website. Super, super simple. Just like your friend sent you a friend request to join Facebook. But what's cool about it is you also get paid for not just what you can do, but what you can duplicate. So my short story, pretty simple. I decided we launched WoTaBu August 27th. I told of 2016 officially. That was our pre-launch. And what I decided to tell 12 of my friends about it and 2 of my family members that are customers on the product. And from those 14 people, just over the last 4.5, 5 months or so, it's expanded to well over 750 people in all 50 states, and I believe almost 16 different countries now. As a 22-year-old kid, that's what happened. A normal guy, like completely normal. As you can tell, that's why we do video, not like phone calls. So you can see like I'm just pretty average. You guys are all like better looking and smarter than me. So it's super cool because we can totally teach you how to do this thing too. But for real, it's super insane what's been able to happen. And what I love about this business is it's people helping people. This idea of complex interdependence. The more people you help, the more money you're able to make. And so that's what I love about what we're doing here. You guys need to understand this. Right now, the travel industry is a $7.6 trillion industry with a T. 7.6 trillion. That is 10% of the world's GDP. That means 10% of every single dollar, yen, peso, for you Canadians, loonies and toonies and whatever else you guys have going on up there, or yen if you're in China. I don't know whatever currencies there are out there, the euro, okay. But 10% of every single monetary currency that was spent last year was spent on travel. And you have an opportunity, and you got to think about this. You have an opportunity to not just get wholesale discount travel like Jamie talked about, but create an income in a $7.6 trillion industry. And the reason why we created this company, we started to realize that is ridiculous. That's a huge amount of money. Where in the world can young people go? They can get wholesale discounts. They can get unbelievable culture of people all over the world like-minded that are positive, that want to help you. They can get quarterly trips. They can get monthly themes, and they can make money in the process while they travel and promote it. Where is that possible? Nowhere. So we created it. And so you guys are hearing about Facebook in the garage. We've been able to create massive movements with things that are not as cool as this at all. And what I'm so excited about is this. What I'm so excited about is we're already seeing so much traction and success with just calls like this, just being honest and real with people about the opportunities. And what I love about it is you get out of it what you put in it. No boss, no set hours, performance-based income. You're going to school, awesome. You can build this part-time just like I did. You have a job, keep it. Keep it as your base. The income you earn in WoTaBu is the dessert on top. It's the extra trips you go on. It's the extra things that you want to go do in life. It's extra cool date nights, flaming yacht, spa trips, whatever you want to do, awesome. Pay off student loan debt. Do that whole thing too, right? So what we're so excited about is with our brand ambassador program, the sky's the limit. You want to earn an extra $500 a month? Easy. We can break that down. $1,000 a month, $1,000 a week, $1,000 a day. It's absolutely endless. It's performance-based. So with that being said, guys, in life, you have to listen to people who have what you want. 96% of people don't, quote unquote, see success in their life. And success isn't monetary by any means. Success, if we're going to talk about success, we have to define it. Success is waking up every single morning, being happy with what you're doing. And if that's being a school teacher and you're going to teach first grade, that's amazing. If it's a doctor and you're going to do heart surgery, that's phenomenal. If it's a lawyer and it's going to court, that's awesome. But only 4% of people wake up in America, the most prosperous country in the world, and can actually say that. Only 4%. And the reason why is this. There's only one reason. They're listening to people who don't have what they want. They're listening to people with results that are lower than what they're expecting theirs to be. If you want to travel more, you want to create an additional source of income, you want 2017 the best year of your life, you're going to have to change things in your life in order for your life to change. And I'm not telling you that WoTaBu is the change for you. I'm telling you for myself, Jamie, and hundreds and thousands of other people all over the world that WoTaBu was the change and the catalyst to completely revolutionize their life. And I just want to throw it out there as an option for you guys. So I appreciate you guys for getting on. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, a lot of things like that. Get back with the person who got you on here. Let's get this question answered. And remember this, in order to be successful, you have to be at the right time, at the right place, with the right people. Timing, we officially launched January 1. Think timing's pretty good. Place, an international epic adventure travel company, sounds like a pretty dope place. People, ask yourself, would you want to travel the world? Would you want to build a business? Would you want to hang out more with the person who invited you on here? If the answer is yes to all three of those, let's get you started. Let's launch your business. Let's go from there. Appreciate all of you guys. Hope you guys have a happy new year, and God bless. Yeah.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.